Good Saturday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. I'm Joey McWilliams. You're watching this presentation of the Bryan County Patriot, and it's a nice night. It's a nice night. It's a nice day, actually. I think it's been a really good day today. Got to get some mowing done today, cleaning some things up outside. I may actually talk about that a little bit later on. Traumatic events during the mow time, but not to be discussed right now because I want to talk to the person who's in the other monitor. And that is Aaron McCoy, who is, full disclosure, a longtime friend of mine, one of my best friends in the world. I really, 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 really appreciate this guy. And not only that, but, he's kind of a local celebrity every now and again. He'll show up just when you least expect it. That face, if you are looking at your monitor right now, and you're going, man, I have seen that face before. That's because it was on the new sign at the Durant Intermediate School. He's trying to get you to enroll your kids. Enroll now. Enroll now. So, Aaron, they get you to post for that sign. How'd that all work out?
Oh my goodness! I was just my assistant principal, who's kind of our tech guru at my school. She said, "Hey, let me take a picture, and I'm going to try to play with it, see if I can get It was me pointing down, and she was going to put a little thing about enrollment." And I had no idea she was going to put it on the sign out there. I thought she was just wanting to play with it and, try to learn how to operate the sign. But no, she stuck it on there and left it there forever. So now I've got my big bald head out there just pointing down, going, enroll your kids online. And since I've got an audience right now, I would say anybody that has kids that are going to be in 4th through 6th grade, please get your kids enrolled online. Our enrollment is not, we don't have as many enrolled at this time as we normally do just because we've gone to online enrollment. So we're kind of needing you to get them enrolled if they're going to get some of the classes they want to get. So as soon as you can get that done, that'd be great.
See, that's what this time's all about, Aaron. It's this opportunity for you to get promote. So definitely promoting there. I want to give a shout out to some of the folks watching tonight. Brent online. Tammy, thanks for joining. Mrs. Patriot is online tonight. Actually, Mrs. McCoy is watching as well. So that's we're extra specially blessed there. Jamie Templeton, Butch, glad you're watching tonight too. Rhonda, Linda, and lots of other folks. So thanks for joining in. Jennifer, thank you for joining in tonight as we're speaking with Aaron McCoy, who's the principal at DIS. And Aaron, I know summers can be long, summers can be short. I'm just curious about this one in particular, because I imagine obviously it's been different. Have you reached like the 100 meeting mark on Zoom meetings yet?
Oh my goodness. Well, Zoom meetings, yes, but the whole summer thing, I think we've been out of school already over 100 days. We've already had a longer time out of school, even though we did some, online stuff, but we've been out of school for what seems like a summer already.
Yeah.
And summer's really just now getting going, but it's been way different having to do all the, so many meetings on Zoom, and especially there at the first of the whole COVID thing with the outbreak was we couldn't even get up to the school building and stuff. So it was kind of what everybody says the new normal, just kind of took us by storm, and so we were all having to learn how to schedule Zoom meetings and attend them, and not forgetting to unmute your mic when you're trying to talk. So yeah, it's been kind of different.
The flip side of that also is probably a thing you want to remember too, because you want to remember to mute your mic at certain times when you don't want to, like cough or burp,
yeah,
or, other things. So, hey.
And turning your camera off when your boy is walking by with no shirt on in the background. Yeah, that happened to me in a meeting. So
yeah, those are things that, okay. Well, then since you've gone ahead and breached that, I've been asked here on more than one occasion on BCP Live, because all we ever see is this shot. So, am I wearing pants? Have you been asked that yet in those meetings?
Uh, well, yes. And I would always start my meetings with my staff as whether or not it's a pants on or pants off meeting. And I'm just kidding. I had pants on, but like even right now, I have a collared shirt, but I'm wearing athletic shorts.
There you go.
So it's, I'm really not dressed. It doesn't match. I don't match. So, but I guess that's okay.
Oh man. Well, listen, and you caught, this is one of those things because you know me. Usually I'm going to be in a short sleeve collared shirt just pretty much 24 hours a day. But I went with the t-shirt. I'm kind of relaxing a little, trying to relax on a Saturday night. And I know Mrs. Patriot's just going to blow that one off and laugh about it. But hi, Lindsay. Lindsay's joining all the way from up north, up in Broken Arrow tonight. So appreciate that. Lexa, thank you for stopping by. Kenny, glad you are in the house tonight as well as we get to visit with Aaron McCoy, who's the DIS principal. But you know what? Another thing that Aaron does, he is someone who is a Bible teacher. He's a preacher, Sunday school teacher at Abundant Life Texoma. And, you've actually been doing some of this Bible teaching online lately too. I mean, as I know they've asked you to share on a Wednesday night or two. And then of course it's probably a good thing that Sunday school's back in session. I don't know if all that Sunday school teaching is built up on the inside of you and you're just going to explode all over everybody really soon.
Well, yeah, it kind of has a little bit. And because my Sunday school lessons are going way too long. But the whole preaching since our pastor, and I say our because you and I both go to the same church, but he's kind of had us doing some of those online Wednesday nights, and I think you had done some too. But doing the online, speaking / preaching online I'm finding is very difficult for me. I didn't realize how different that is, not having an audience, not having people you can feed off of, that you can read a little bit, that you can interact with. So difficult to do this online. And even right now, doing this with you is tons easier because I can see you. And so, we're interacting. And so this is just like you and I talking. But when you're doing a Facebook Live, service and you're speaking, that I found that to be very difficult. I'm sure it's something I could would get used to over time, but that's different than just doing a meeting or just even just talking like we're doing. But speaking on just to a camera, very difficult for me. I've found.
I understand, and you're right. From the preaching perspective, definitely, you definitely want to get a feel for what the folks are. Are they getting it? Are they not getting it? Do we need to stay on this a little bit longer? And how should we address this? Because obviously you want to reach the people that you're trying to share God's word with. So yeah, you're exactly right. It does help for me a little bit. Now, I always talk about the two monitors that are here on BCP Live. Shout out to Jack and Dottie who've joined tonight. Blake Martin, man, I saw you in the Walmart parking lot again the other day. Hope you're doing well. And Paula, glad you joined tonight. Aaron, I can see the comments there. So at least every now and again, because during the time here, I've been known to preach a little bit on this show. And that's not the drinking game, by the way, on this show. The drinking game is I'm a sports broadcaster. So go ahead and take a drink now. But anyway, knowing that, people with the comments will kind of keep me going. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yes, I understand that. Preach it, things like that. They do kind of help. So we need to set you up the next time where you're able to get comments that show up a little bit more, so you can build on that.
Yeah, I tried that. I can't keep my mind. I can't keep my train of thought when I'm trying to read something down in the corner watching the comments, and that just messed me up worse. So I had to get that going because I could not read them, and so that was worse.
No, I understand, and they laugh at me sometimes too here because they'll squirrel, and I'll go off on one of those. By the way, the drinking game is a gag too. If you are just joining BCP Live, our drinking game here is when I say I broadcast sports. The beverage of choice, by the way, for BCP Live is Dr. Pepper. So there we go. That's what's there. All right, we're visiting with Aaron McCoy, and I know, Aaron, you have a lot going on, so I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate Lori letting you come on with me tonight and be a part of this. Hi, Teresa. I am really glad that you're here tonight too. Marilyn Dill has joined. She must have
Hey, Marilyn.
yeah, seeing Aaron McCoy's in the house tonight. Speaking of family, one of the things I know you have coming up, you're going to be getting your family moved up into a college setting. You talked about that boy walking by in the background without a shirt on. Well, it's not like he's a small boy. I mean, he's a big boy. He's going to go up to UCO and play some football in the fall, and they're going to play football in the fall. I believe that's more than a faith statement.
Oh, man, I hope so. I sure hope so. And yeah, he's fixing to head out. Got it's kind of bittersweet a little bit. I can't lie and say I'm not glad that my kids are out of the house. But man, I am going to miss him. I mean, he's my best buddy, and taking him up to UCO tomorrow. He's reporting they're going to start having workouts and stuff over the summer, and so I got to move him into an apartment up there. And so doing that tomorrow. And yeah, he is a big old boy. He's about 6'4", 305 right now. Fixed to go play some football. So
Goodness.
Man, I hope they do have a football season this year, even if it is a shortened one or however they do it. But I sure hope to get to watch him play this year.
You were talking about a big old boy. Josh Mullins just joined the broadcast, and there's a big old boy too. So definitely want to give a shout out to him. But 305, 6'4", 305, that's going to move somebody off that line. I can guarantee you. Somebody's they may try to come back, but they're going to regret it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he has a great. I think he will. He's worked really hard, and man, he really is. He's a good football player, and going to be. He is a great offensive lineman, and I just hope he has great success in college too.
I believe he will, Aaron. I really do. I believe he will. And of course, you speak from experience as you played little offensive line yourself there on the campus at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. We've been promoting the Savage Storm. I'm sure you've been seeing what's going on the campus too, especially there in the volleyball facilities with the new weight room. If you haven't seen the new weights, which I think, and I could be wrong on this, but I'm not so sure that they weren't using weights that you used back when you were playing. I mean, they were still around, and there's some nice new weights that are there, and the facilities are great. And Josh Mullins says he wished he was 6'4", 305. Oh man, you'd be a monster, dude. Absolutely. Oh, but even with that going on, I believe Cooper's going to do well. And here's a shameless self promotion. I did go ahead and keep the MidwestSports.net shirt on because we will be doing a Midwest Sports Saturday from Edmond this year. I haven't had the show at Central Oklahoma yet, and because of one Cooper McCoy, we're going to do our first show at Edmond this year. So I'm looking forward to that. So there you go, Aaron. We'll be up there some Saturday for a home game doing a broadcast. Maybe we'll get to visit again at that point. But you won't have to be in the other monitor. You can sit in the seat next to me. That's how that'll work.
Yes.
All right, really quickly then, I want to wrap up our time. I told you I would make good use of your time tonight, and if you are stopping by to see Aaron on, thank you, Angela, stopping by. I'm sure get to see Aaron on tonight, and some other folks that have checked in tonight, and I really do appreciate that. Fu, by the way, had joined as well, and he's been in the house too. So you can give a shout out to Fu. I think he's still Fu and Lindsay up there, up in Broken Arrow.
What's up, Fu?
Fireworks. There we go. Fireworks. Man, it's that time. Can you believe it is 7 days away? I mean, that is absolutely incredible. And I know that your two kids are going to be selling fireworks. Well, one of your kids is going to be helping selling fireworks because Cooper's going to go up there. But man, you remember when we used to do that back in the 80s and into the 90s? And oh my goodness, I mean, it was fun, but it's a long week.
Yeah, and I remember it being fun, and now I don't know if it's just age or what. When I get out in that heat and get to those fireworks stands, helping them set up and stuff, I'm like, this isn't fun. This is not fun at all.
No.
But they have a blast, and I think it's a good time for those kids to develop relationships, working together, and it's really. I think it's an important thing just in with our kids doing it. They're doing it with the church, and I think it's just I know it's fireworks. It doesn't sound real spiritual, but just doing that for the church, doing that for the youth group, being in service there. I think it's a good experience for those kids.
I agree with you too. It does not at 49, it just does not feel like what it felt like at 17. It just
Yeah.
it's not the same thing at all. But it is. It's fun. Well, and Jayla with what she's doing with the band, she works at that Fireworks World stand too with the Pride of Durant. They have that going on. That's air conditioning. We didn't get air conditioning. What's air conditioning?
That's cheating. That's cheating.
Oh, no doubt. If you got a nice breeze blowing in from whatever direction, or sometimes you just had to go stand outside because the breeze would be hitting the back of the stand and it wouldn't be coming in. Unfortunately, the opposite of that was true. If it rained, it would always rain in. So that was, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was. Well, Aaron, listen, I appreciate you coming on with me tonight, and I know you've got to keep getting Cooper ready because you're going to take him tomorrow up there. Please give him a shout out. And working with you and being your friend for all these years, you are just a great person, and the people around Durant need to know you. I know that I'm sure with those DIS kids coming in, when they see you coming in as the principal, it's like, oh my goodness, this man is a mountain. His arms, are just huge, and but you have a heart of gold, and you're fun too. I mean, how many times have we quoted the entire movie of Monty Python in the Search for the Holy Grail? Things like that. You're a lot of fun. Well, even
same to you, Joey, and
there's delay, Aaron. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, same to you. I love you, and I appreciate you having me on.
Well, we want to do it again. If it's not in Edmond on Midwest Sports Saturday, then we definitely want to do it again. Maybe when school comes back, and we'll have an opportunity actually to talk a little bit about school when the time comes. Right now, it's summer break. These kids don't even want to think about school right now. So but remember, enroll. There you go. Just remember, this is the guy that's telling you if you haven't enrolled yet. Brent Gordon put up there, he's unrolled. So, anyway, I don't know. He's not going to do it. But Aaron, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you. We'll see you, Joey.
All right. That's Aaron McCoy. And Michelle, thank you for stopping by as well. Aaron McCoy, if you don't know Aaron, you're missing out. You're flat out missing out. All right. Won't be able to. I don't need the headphones now. That's fine. My guest is there. Okay. Let's go through some things really quickly. If you don't know Aaron, by the way, you need to know Aaron. This guy is he's a special guy. He is a good friend of mine, and I have known him for, 30 plus years. I don't know, 35. It's been a long time. And his family and my family have known each other, and just great folks, absolutely great folks. If you've been fortunate enough to have Aaron McCoy as one of your kids, for one of your kids to be the principal, you've been blessed. And he's going to be one of those principals. And we do have those folks around our area who are going to pray for your kids, who are going to love your kids, who are going to give of themselves for your kids. And these are the kind of people we like to promote right here on BCP Live. I mean, we definitely want to do that. Danny, thanks for joining tonight. Really appreciate that. And of course, we give the shout out to Fu, who figuratively is in the house. Michelle says he is an amazing man. You're exactly right. He is an amazing man. Wonderful family, Teresa. And I agree. Absolutely. Man, they're just great. All right. Let's give a couple of shout outs then, and then let's go to the giveaway, which is not going to happen tonight, but we are going to give one more opportunity. If you're new to the broadcast, or if this is your first night to stop by tonight, you have an opportunity to win an Opera House gift card. But anniversaries today. Shout out to the Phillips. Greg and Marty, 22 years today. Happy anniversary to you all. And to the Lukes, who are celebrating 50 years. And I know that Stephanie's really proud of her parents. And so 50-year anniversary, they're celebrating that today. So congratulations to those folks. But you know what? Not to be outdone, someone who has been here and one of our advertisers, he's moved into that role. on Bryan County Patriot, and that is Hudson Taves. And Hudson and Emily got married today. And so congratulations to them. Shout out to them. That is just, that's awesome. That's really cool. All right. Speaking of Greg Phillips, I don't know. I may be able to pull that up. I may have to do that on Monday. Greg gave out a special award, a Good Neighbor Award this week. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that on Monday. All right. I'm sorry. I keep doing this. It was a tragic, a hideous mowing incident today. I didn't lose my fingers or anything, but fire ants. It was the attack of the fire ants. And so that's there. This is okay. Well, Danny, it's not your first time ever, but it's your first time this week. So you need to know Opera House gift card. Okay. Here's how you win the Opera House gift card. And if you're just going to submit one today, you may be a little behind because there have been a lot of other people who have submitted things already. So your phrase may have already been taken. What we're doing is we are going to find out what is the one phrase above all others that we don't ever want to hear again after 2020 is over. Okay? Never want to hear this phrase again following 2020. Among the phrases, and you put it in the comment section, and the first person to have gotten that down, which obviously back on Monday, some of these have already been taken up. So I'm going to read the ones that have been taken. And if you'd still like to enter, you still may enter. Andrew, thanks for joining tonight. Steph, man, it's good to see your name coming up there. Kylie looks very cute, by the way, with the haircut. And please let her know Uncle Joey said so. All right. Among the phrases or words that have already been taken, here we go. Social distancing. Never want to hear this again after this year is over with. 2020 murder fire ants. Well, I thought there were 2020 bites on me for sure, but the murder fire ants. Ugh. Okay. Social distancing, new normal, 6 feet, man. Stop hoarding the toilet paper. Where were you quarantined in these challenging times? Shut down, not a lockdown. Stay home. We're all in this together. Unprecedented. Murder hornets, and I guess murder fire ants at this point. New case numbers are face coverings for all. Carol Baskin murdered her husband. Racist. Breaking news. Coronavirus. Hashtag Rona. I'll let those be 2 different ones. You have to wear your mask. Let me get your temperature. That's a little invasive. Flatten the curve. And pandemic. Words or phrases that you want to leave in 2020. Okay, words or phrases that you want to leave in 2020. By the way, I did pray, and I believe God healed my hand. Look at little bites here, but and it felt like it was going to be a lot worse. So I'm thankful for that. I could get back out. I rubbed some dirt on it, and I got back in the game. That's what I did. So anyway, so these words or phrases are going to go to a panel. And the panel is going to determine, I think, like the top 3, and then pick up those top 3, the one that is the phrase of all phrases. We don't ever want to hear this again. None of your names will be attached to the words or phrases so that they're not going to know, and they're not going to, pick it or be biased or anything like that. But this is a $20 gift card to the Opera House. You buy quite a few lattes with that. I'm telling you what. You can actually get a good meal, very good meal there too. I think I like the Alto sandwich. Uncertain times, like I've never known a certain time. That is all right. The uncertain times thing, that one was already taken. And the person who took that, I knew she was going to take that too. That was my mother-in-law who took that one. She's tired of hearing that on all the commercials, so I knew she'd take that. But anyway, the panel doesn't know all the names. Panel's not watching right now anyway, I'm sure. So that is okay. All right. I did take some Benadryl, and I prayed. Probably going to take a little bit more. But I didn't want to take Benadryl before the broadcast tonight because I didn't want to, fall asleep on the air and still be broadcasting, leaning over into the microphone. Just lose it. So none of us wants that. Okay, maybe some people would like to see that. All right. Where are we now? I want to get to that good neighbor gift. That's on Monday. Also on Monday, And this is something that we're going to talk about on Monday. We are going to look at the ballot on Monday. You know, there is an election. There is an election coming up, and more than one thing is actually on the ballot. So we're going to have a ballot and look at the ballot for the local election on Monday. So you want to tune in for that. And honestly, it's one of those things. I'm not here to try to sway votes one way or the other. A couple of the things, school board elections, I don't know. But definitely we need to be informed. We need to be informed. The best voter is an informed voter. And there are many people out there who, like the uninformed voters, just vote for me and I'm not going to tell you anything I'm going to do or whatever. The best voter, and I believe a godly voter, okay, because you know that's what we talk about here on BCP Live. A godly voter is an informed voter, someone who prays too. I do get the Americanos. I do like the Americanos. I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I think a lot of the stuff out there really, really tastes good. I think Sean and all the guys out there do a great job. Okay. I'm not getting I want to talk about something really quickly before, let's see, we're at the 26-minute mark. It's a Saturday night. We need to get ready for church. It finally came up. Okay, that's good. We're going to talk about a couple of things beer bug wise, and then we're going to, we'll wrap it up and give you time to get some rest for a Sunday, okay? So we're talking about the good neighbor thing on Monday. We'll look at the ballot on Monday as well. Voting is on Tuesday, June 30th. And also voting for the sheriff's race. Remember, don't be disappointed if you're a registered Democrat, you can't vote for the sheriff's race because it's a primary, but all three candidates registered Republican. So that's going to wind up being the voting right there. Pray about that. Pray about that. All right. Numbers from today. Check this one out. And I think this is really interesting. And I'll bet it's something that you're not going to hear. I'm not going to say you're not going to hear it anywhere else, but I'm going to say you're probably not going to hear it too many other places. Okay. New cases today in the state of Oklahoma, June 27th, 2020. The number of cases from yesterday to today went up 299 in the state of Oklahoma, which is actually down from what it had been. It had been going up 400, 500 for the last 4 or 5 days. So up 299. New recoveries from yesterday to today, 338. There were more recoveries than there were new cases. Now, eventually that was going to happen, and it's happened sometimes already. Okay? You're not hearing those times because right now, again, people are jumping on numbers going up, numbers going up, numbers going up. Nationally, the big number that's going down is the deaths. At the start of the week, there were 90% less deaths in a given day. You're not hearing that. All you're hearing is Texas, Florida, numbers are going up. What you're not hearing is that the death totals are not going up, and that, well, they're going up a little bit, but not at the same pace. And I want to read to you something tonight, which this was presented earlier this week to me. Are antibody test numbers being thrown in with the positive confirmed test numbers? And the answer to that is, and Mrs. Patriot and I have been studying this, the answer to that is in certain places, but not across the board. Not everyone is doing that, and even some places did it for a while and don't do it anymore. In Texas, they were adding in when it was discovered that if you took a blood test or you gave blood and you took the antibody test and they found out that the antibody test was a positive test, which we'll get to that also in just a moment, but they found out the antibody test was a positive test, then that was added to the number of confirmed positive cases for the state. Well, now you got two things that are working to jack that number up. You have increased testing, which means the number is almost inevitably going to go up. And you have now places that are adding in the positive antibody test. So that means the number is going to go up. So people are still, they're taking every opportunity to get you to be afraid. The numbers are going up. The numbers are going up. They're spiking. Oh, that's a phrase I'd like to. Numbers are spiking. Love to get rid of that one at the end of 2020 also. Okay, so they're going up. You're right, but the number of deaths is not going up at that pace, not even close to that pace. Here's another reason why that number is misleading. And I actually had someone from Missouri who took the antibody test, and the quote from her, look, every day we are being bashed over the head with new COVID counts. They are meaningless at best and criminally falsified at worst. That is not my quote. I like it. Let me read that to you again. This is on Facebook. Every day, we are being bashed over the head with the new COVID counts. They are meaningless at best and criminally falsified at worst. And let's go to the disclaimer then on the antibody test, because I said I would bring that up. This is what is said on the antibody test. Okay. Your results, this person on Facebook got it taken, said your results were positive. Antibodies typically, your results suggest you've been exposed to SARS-CoV-19. Antibodies typically suggest protective immunity from further infection. However, evidence is still being collected to determine if these antibodies provide protective immunity against SARS-CoV-19. Let's look at the disclaimers. Negative results. These are from the FDA. Negative results do not rule out SARS-CoV-19 infection. So if your antibody test came back negative, you still could have it, or you still could have had it. Particularly in those who have been in contact with the virus, follow-up testing should be considered. Also, positive results may be due to past or present infection with non-SARS-CoV-19 coronavirus strains, such as coronavirus HKU1, coronavirus NL63, coronavirus OC43, coronavirus 229E. Did you even know all those coronaviruses were out there? But you can take the antibody test and a positive result could come back for that. Here's the deal. If it doesn't necessarily have to come from COVID-19, but they count it as a COVID-19 positive result, is that a lie? I mean, I'm asking the question. Is that the truth? It could be, but their listing is as though it is. So there's that. Now let's go to the New England Journal of Medicine. We're going to go to NPR now, all right? How about that? NPR, and if you look at this on where NPR news fits, NPR leans a little bit to the left. Definitely more center than either, Fox News on one side, MSNBC on the other side. CNN definitely leans left. NPR is going to be leaning a little bit left, but a little bit more center. So let's read this NPR report. Oh, sorry, took it off the screen. Sorry. I'll get that back up there. There we go. All right. Here's the report. Antibody test. This is from May 28th. This is nearly a month ago. Antibody tests point to lower death rate for the coronavirus than first thought. This is a month ago. Okay? A month ago. Now, you remember Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci, who has been on the coronavirus team. He's the guy that comes on all the time and says, this is what the charts say, blah, 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 blah. We expect this many people to die. Let me tell you something again. No virus determines your future, and no chart determines who lives or who dies. Do not walk in fear. Don't do it. Now, let me read to you from this. May 28th, it says, the current best estimates for the infection fatality rate are between 0.5% and 1%, says Caitlin Rivers, an epidemiologist at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Remember all those Johns Hopkins numbers we were seeing back in March? and April and May. And now they're saying, well, really what it looks like is the fatality risk is right now between 0.5% and 1%. And they're going to go on to say it's probably lower than that. That's in contrast with the death rates of 5% or more based on calculations that included only people who got sick enough to be diagnosed with tests that detect the presence of a virus in the person's body. And the revised estimates, and this is, again, 1 month ago. They've been revised much more since then. 1 month ago, the revised estimates support an early prediction by Dr. Anthony Fauci. I heard someone say this on YouTube the other day. You know, Dr. Fauci, the man who gives his own second opinions, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and a leading member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force. In an editorial, we'll get to the editorial, published in late March, in the New England Journal of Medicine, Fauci and colleagues wrote that the case fatality rate for COVID-19 may be considerably less than 1%. It's not 5%. It's not 6%, as they were telling us. It's not 4%. It's not 2%. Remember all those things we said? Remember at the beginning and even here on this show? And you go back and watch the show because they're still on YouTube unless they've been taken off. And they're still on Facebook unless they've been taken off. That say from the beginning, do not walk in fear. Don't walk in fear. Okay? And Jeannie, if you're still on, I see your comment. I hope that we can get to see you next time. So stick around. Maybe it'll come back on later. Maybe you can watch the rebroadcast. Just know that we thought of you. Okay? So there is that. Do not walk in fear. Hi, Shelly. Glad you joined tonight as too. Jamie Miller. Always glad to get to see your name come up on my screen. And LaRonda, Eric Loftus, glad you all are here. And Janice, glad that you're on as well. All right. So let's bring up then that journal from the New England Medicine Journal of the New England, New England Journal of Medicine. There we go. Let's bring that one up. Can we bring that one up? Can I? I'm more talented than this. Come on. There it is. All right. Let's look at this. From Dr. Fauci. The latest threat. By the way, this was written. Are you ready for this? It was published on February 28th, 2020. February 28th. Before everything shut down, this was published. And it was also published then online March 26th. In this article, it is reported on the basis of a case definition requiring diagnosis of pneumonia, current reported case fatality rate is 2%. Pneumonia, 2%. In COVID-19, though, it is less than that. Let me see if I can find this paragraph here that we want to get to. Oh, come on, McWilliams. Oh, there it is. Okay. It was in the same paragraph. Sorry. If one assumes, okay, now go, they knew this in February. If one assumes that the number of asymptomatic or minimally symptomatic cases is several times high as the number of reported cases, the case fatality rate may be considerably less than 1%. Have we said this almost word for word on this show? This suggests that the overall clinical consequences of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza, the flu, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%, or a pandemic influenza similar to those in 1957 or 68, then a disease similar to SARS or MERS, which have had case fatality rates of 9 to 10% and 36% respectively. Dr. Fauci, in a report in the New England Journal of Medicine, said he thought that it would be considerably less than 1%, probably around 0.1%, and we know it's even less than that now. Do not walk in fear. Do not walk in fear. The national media, they are hanging on by a thread right now. to find anything and everything to make you afraid. It's what keeps them in business. And they would love to have little bitty shows like this taken off because we're saying, no, you're not telling us the truth. The truth is, yes, a lot of people have come in contact with this disease, which means the fatality rate is so much lower than what you're saying. So if you're going to say that spike, numbers are spiking, the numbers are going up, they're spiking, you can't do this, then you have to. Integrity. I mean, use some journalistic integrity. I know it's hard to find where you are. I know all you people on the White House press corps wouldn't know journalistic integrity if it jumped on your back and rode you like a horse. I understand that. But try just for a little bit, try to find some journalistic integrity and say that if the number that you were saying was this is now this, don't just say that the numbers are spiking, but say that the fatality rate is this now. It's minimal. It is so small. Are people still dying that their deaths are attributed to COVID-19? Yes. Are comorbidities often involved? Yes. In the state of Oklahoma, that number's gone up to 80.1% of people who have passed whose deaths were attributed to COVID-19, that there was a comorbidity involved. Do not walk in fear. Don't do it. Be wise, because we want to be wise. Use discretion, because we need to use discretion. But do not walk in fear. Don't let fear determine how you vote. Yes, I'm talking about November, but I'm also talking about you have a time to vote on Tuesday. And local elections are just as important. People say, they're getting everybody all wound up for November, and we're gonna make sure we take off work then, and we're gonna shut down. The NCAA is not going to do anything, so all the athletes can go vote. Why weren't the athletes voting before? Why weren't you promoting things before, NCAA? You're virtue signaling right now is what you're doing. That's all this is about. Why is now a big deal? But don't just let it be about the national electives or elections. Let it be about the local elections. You're concerned about your kids? Then vote the school board election. We have those coming up. You're concerned about Bryan County? Vote for sheriff. Pray about it. Vote for sheriff. Pray about it. Vote for the school board. We have some big state questions coming up in the state of Oklahoma in that November election also. We're going to be talking about a lot of those right here on BCP Live. And we're going to read it, we're going to look at it, and then you get to make the decision. I don't have to tell you how to think. You can think. God made you well. Use the magic bean. Pete. Man, it's good to see your name come up there, Pete. I found the best news persons to listen to. Well, I'm going to tell you not to walk in fear. And we won't promote. I mean, I don't know if we can get all the news out there, but we'll try. We'll try to get the local things as well. All right. There you go. I'm going to use that phrase. I don't know if I can co-opt it as my own. I heard it from a YouTuber that I've just started watching in the last week or so. I really like him. And he's Dr. Fauci, the man who gives his own second opinions. And we're also going to look at a couple things too in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to laugh some. Laughter does good like a medicine, and we are going to laugh some in the next couple of weeks. I guarantee you. Dottie tagged me in a video yesterday that everybody in my house was just cracking up about a dog who'd stolen his master's false teeth, his owner, and it had him in his mouth. Okay, we were laughing about that. We were laughing very muchly about that, and so we're gonna laugh. We're gonna laugh some in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get that out there. So Monday we'll talk about the ballot, and we'll talk about the Good Neighbor Award. I think you're going to dig this. It's definitely a thing to promote here in Bryan County. Pete, brother, I miss you too, man. I look forward to the next time I get to see you. Check us out here on BCP Live. Hope you got to go back, Pete, and watch Aaron. Go back, Pete, and watch Aaron. Aaron was on at the beginning of the show, so after it's all over with. Well, if you give enough different opinions, maybe at least one of them will be correct. Well, that much is certain. That much is certain. You have a better chance of getting it right. Yes, I said muchly. You don't like that? I like that. It's a good word. I can think of other words. We do use adverbs correctly in my household, so I just thought I'd throw the muchly in there too. Philip Falk, good to see your name up there as well. All right, let's wrap it up. We've hit the 45-minute mark. I think that it is time. It's a Saturday night. You need to go to church on Sunday, so do that wherever you go, and listen. Get something from the Word. Know that that the people in charge are praying for you. Pray for them that you get there. Weather guys do it all the time. Look at the hurricane models. I'm telling Mrs. Patriot and I were watching a hurricane model for, was it Cristobal? I think it was Cristobal, that it showed from the Yucatan Peninsula and how it was going to go up through the Caribbean up to the United States. And it was absolutely a tangled mess of spaghetti going. I mean, 20 different models. All of them were weird and different. One of them shooting off, I think, over into Barbados or something. It's hilarious. And again, it's just like what you said, Alicia, a bunch of different opinions. One of them has to be right? Did the dust cause me to have COVID? No. Hang on. Oh, man. All right. No, the dust did not cause me to have COVID. That is okay. The dust has been a little bit weird, but it did not do. I actually, a friend of mine, somebody that graduated the year before me at Dixon High School, go Comets, and he actually went to school at Southeastern as well. I got to see him for a number of years more over here at Southeastern, and he said, what was it? He said, just found out that there are flying agony scorpion eggs coming in on the Sahara dust. And Mrs. Patriot and I had to look at that a couple of times going, is he being serious? Flying agony scorpion eggs coming. Oh, okay. All right. Well, Robert, you should have joined a little earlier. Jamie's been here for long enough to comment. So it didn't affect the fishing tonight. Well, good. Well, I am glad, really glad it did not affect the fishing tonight. You guys deserve to have good fishing night. So thanks for stopping by. All right, we have all those things. Again, congratulations to Hudson and Emily Taves. Got married today, so that is cool. Well, we're going to have Hudson on sometime soon. He promised me that we would be able to have him on sometime soon as well. All right. Okay. Yes, you're fishing. That's all right. We'll call it even. That's cool. Tomorrow, church. If you are still at the point, now let me say this really quickly. If you're still at the point where you don't feel like that you need to go be around people, okay, then don't. As much as what I've said tonight is true, and as much as we know that the fatality rate and all those things, they're overblown. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of all kinds of garbage that's being thrown our way. But if you don't feel like you need to, I mean, you go to church all the time, but you're saying, Joey, I want to wait another week. I want to wait another 2 weeks. I just don't feel comfortable yet. Numbers are going up in Durant. Yes, the case numbers have gone up in Durant. I did post a story on the Patriot today, and I have an idea. It won't be long before it's a triple-digit number in our county. But people are not, going to the hospital left and right. I'm flinching. I think that something's just blowing past me, but with all the fire ant bites right now, I'm flinching. I'm sorry. Anyway, then don't. And don't be ashamed and don't be concerned. Watch online. Get your favorite preacher online. Get something out of the Word tomorrow and be blessed. All right? So I want you to be blessed. Be wise. We try to throw out some wisdom here on BCP Live. We try to throw out some humor too. Use discretion and do not walk in fear. Big shout out to Aaron McCoy. Thank you very much for being on the program with me tonight, sir. And you all have a great weekend. Enjoy it muchly. And we'll do this again on Monday night. God bless you. Have a great night.